Hi everyone, my name is Stacy Pruitt. I am a mom of 3 little kiddos. My oldest actually just turned 11 this week. I have a 6-year-old and a 4-year-old. They keep me pretty busy, so a lot of times I'm doing homework after I put them to bed. So you'll see a lot of my posts late at night. I can't remember what exactly inspired me to become a nurse. I know when I was in high school, I wanted to work with kids, I wanted to work in a hospital, and I wanted to teach people something. Those were the 3 things that I had in my mind when you asked me, actually as probably a little kid in like elementary school on up. So in high school I decided to shadow in the hospital setting. I got to spend the last part of each day, 5 days a week, in a hospital. I got to see everything from every unit of a hospital to physical therapy, occupational therapy. I followed some physicians. I followed all different jobs within the hospital too, and nursing is what I decided on after that point. So I did, I originally started my education in a 4-year university to get my bachelor's in nursing, and I ended up falling in love. And that's where I had my oldest. And so when she was about 14 months old, I decided to go back to school. And at that point, I went through just the associate's program to get completed with school faster. I've been a nurse for 8 years this month. And I know that math probably doesn't add up. I went through an accelerated associate's program because I already had 2 years of school. So I actually only had to go for about 13 months for school. I've practiced all over the hospital. I started in ICU and would float over to step down because our manager covered both. And we weren't a level 1 trauma center, but we took a lot of level 1 traumas because we were one of the last hospitals, one of the closest hospitals on our main road that goes through the state of Missouri, I-70. So if they couldn't make it to Columbia to the level 1, they would stop with us. So we were very, very busy. I did that for a while until we moved, and we only moved about an hour away, but it was a very challenging drive. So my husband had me transfer. So when I did that, I moved to the emergency room closer to where I lived. Loved the emergency room. I didn't like the mid-shift hours. So after that, I transitioned into surgery. I did pre-op and PACU. Loved PACU as well. I really, really liked PACU. I don't like to work 5 days a week or take call though. So I decided to go back to working nights and 3 days a week, since at this point I'd already had all 3 of my kiddos, and it was just better for daycare and things like that. And so I went into a critical care float position and did night shift. So I did critical care float for about 1.5 years, 2 years. And then I was at a smaller hospital that was closer to my house, and I decided that I missed the bigger hospital atmosphere. So I applied for our I've been staying in the same hospital system. I've been with them for the 8 years I've been a nurse. I've just transferred within hospitals. So I applied for our actual level 1 trauma center in the middle of Kansas City, and I took a position with them as a nurse leader or charge nurse, depending on where you work, on our comprehensive stroke unit. So I have 16 beds of all stroke patients. They can be a bleed or a clot, it doesn't matter. We also take seizures and patients with any sort of neurological disorder, but the majority of our patients are strokes. And so I do that every Thursday, Friday, and Saturday night. Absolutely love it. It's been a blast. I like teaching. I have a lot of new grads, and I like to teach them. They're really willing to learn, and it's been so much fun. I've been in that position for about 1.5 years now. Where do I see myself following graduation? After I get my bachelor's, I'm hoping to go straight into the master's program. I would like to get my FNP and potentially certify in emergency medicine and go back to the ER. That would be my ultimate goal. But short-term goals, one at a time right now. Other than that, I'm looking forward to the class. Sorry this is so long. Thank you for listening.